What's up, faithful? Welcome to the East Coast Red and Gold podcast on Niners Jess, along with Ty Austin. Maddie B will be here shortly, and Niner Lady Dina. It is Wednesday, January 28th. What's up, guys?
What's going on?
Not too much. Surviving the cold weather.
Yes.
Yep.
Trying to.
We all trying to. Yeah, we're getting there.
Give me an 80-degree day any day.
I'm with you there.
Well, just like we were talking before we went live, I'll definitely take a 35-degree day.
All right.
Do I hear a
Not
40?
asking for much, right?
All right. Before we get started, we are brought to you by Faithful Gear. Get your customized Niners gear made for the faithful by the faithful at faithfulgear209.com. All right. So no 49ers football, but it was Championship Sunday. We had the Broncos and the Patriots. We had the Rams and the Seahawks. Did you guys catch the games?
I did not.
I watched a little bit of the Patriots game. That was about it.
Yeah, I
watched the Patriots game.
I did watch both games. I watched more of the Denver Patriots game than I did the Rams Seahawks because I don't know.
Could not stomach that.
I felt kind of sad inside when I was watching it.
Could not stomach that.
Yeah.
It was like, where's Columbo?
Yeah. And it was just, I don't know. It was hard to watch. It was it was a good game. The Broncos Pats game was all right. Yeah. But the Rams Seahawks game, it was a good game. It was typical, NFC West type game.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Rams should have won. They had a special teams debacle.
Oh.
Yeah, did see that.
Yeah.
Highlight of that.
The kick returner muffed the punt. He fell backwards and and gave Seattle great field position and so that pretty much did it for the Rams there. Today's thumbnail is Niners needs. So Niners needs after Championship Sunday. We are 41 days away from the new league year, which is March 11th. What are your guys' thoughts before we get into the needs? Like, what are your thoughts? You've had, 2 weeks to digest, the Niners season.
That was with heartburn.
Yeah. The loss to the Seahawks in the divisional round. Your thoughts on the season, Dina?
My thoughts on the season. Part of me wants to cry and grab a blanket and go in the corner. And the other part of me says, you've been here before. You're used to this after all these years. I'm proud of my team. I'm proud of what they have accomplished this year, given all the factors that are against us and were against us, and how we overcame those obstacles despite everyone's critique. But I am kind of sad because we got right there, half, like 3/4 up Everest,
Mm-hmm.
And, to see what happened was just like, you got to be kidding me. But, like I told everybody, everybody was like ready to give me a pity party. I said, no, I hold my head up high. I'm a Niner, do or die. I think we did damn good for what other people expected of us. We overcame that. And, I'm only 5 feet high, but I raised my head up high and sported my SF all over the place. I am proud of my team. Yes, we have some things we need to work on. Yes, we have some things we need to clean up on, but I'm not going to grab the blanket like Linus and hide in a corner with a bottle of scotch. I'm going to, which is what I wanted to do. But I'm like, no, we're better than that. We're better than that. So I'm ready. I'm still going to hold my head up high and wear my stuff. They're like, this lady said to me, your season is over. And why do you still have your stuff on? I said, because I'm not like you.
Exactly.
I represent 24/7, 365. Okay. It ain't over.
This
after
ain't
the
seasonal.
Super Bowl. Yeah. I mean, after the Super Bowl, I'll take my stuff off, maybe, but I'm proud. I'm proud of what they've accomplished. And I'm proud that everybody stepped up to do what they had to do. But there's a lot more that needs to be done.
Ty?
Yeah, I thought it was an excellent season. To be let's start off just throughout the season. You saw a team fight and play together and come together to achieve their goal, right? It was a full team effort from top to bottom. And we needed that this season with people going in and out of the lineup. So it's great to see the team come together. No one, to paraphrase Dina, held their head low. Everyone held their head high, went out and competed, right? And while there was a lot of other teams and a lot of other people saying, oh, we wouldn't achieve, they just went out and achieved week after week.
Right.
And played week after week and won games week after week, right? We're in week 18. There's only 2 teams fighting for the number 1 seed in the NFC. We were one of them.
Right.
Despite everyone saying, oh, they're not going to go anywhere, there we were. We go into Philly.
Back.
And we go into Philly. Well, there's no way they're winning in Philly. We win a game. All right. Here we are, 2 wins away from the Super Bowl. We came up short, but hey, still a successful season. We made it further than how many other teams?
Right.
So it was a very successful season, from what we achieved. But like I said, more importantly, having everyone come together as 49ers and win together, right? Everyone got each other's back, picking each other up, next man up, all that stuff. The theme of this season was grit, and they were gritty from beginning to end. Exactly. So it's beautiful to see. So I think it's like Dina said, it's a season to be proud of, nothing to hang your head low on. A lot of people are just hanging on to that final game because of the way it went down, but that is not an indication of the entire season.
Right.
So everyone should be proud and should be kind of jazzed up for what's to come next season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, Ty. A lot of people are holding on to I think the week 18 game and the divisional game, and just defining the season with that. Yeah. When we were going into the divisional game, everyone kept bringing up week 18 and how it was going to be, similar and, blah, blah, blah. And, but I thought the season was a great season. After 2 weeks of, digesting, it's, a lot to be proud of, a lot to look forward to. There are things that we definitely need to do on both sides of the ball. No one thought that we would be where we were at. And, we surprised a lot of people, including probably half or most of the fan base, to be honest.
Yeah.
But props to the coaching, Kyle Shanahan, Robert Saleh, the position coaches, everybody. It was like a complete team effort.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I said, the new league year starts March 11th. We're 41 days away. There are some needs that we definitely need. what do you guys think about our wide receivers?
Definitely need to build up on that. I mean, a lot of them have speed, but I want to see more receptions. I mean, we can get them out there. And they're just not a, hey, Maddie.
Hey, Matt.
You know,
I'm alive,
we
I
just got to
promise.
get more receptions.
Now the party can start.
Yeah.
Yeah, the receiver room, I'm okay with. Ricky Pearsall is a number one. I'm fine with him being out there. Despite what the naysayers say, he can play. He can flat out play. He's shown it. He's proved it, right?
Yeah.
Just need Kyle to treat him as a number one game in and game out. Don't push him down the totem pole. Demarcus Robinson, we see is serviceable. Got to call his number. Behind them is just question marks, right? We've seen Jacob Cowing a little bit, but he was injured all this year. But we know he can run routes and he has speed. Same for Jacob Cowing. I mean, not Jacob Cowing, Jordan Watkins. Didn't see him at all. Well, he did get on the field, just didn't get any ops. We saw him in preseason, but same thing, injury-filled year. So, hopefully they can build their bodies up, be okay going into next year, and be a factor. But that's all we have right now. So we need depth. We need to bring in some bodies, via the draft, some free agents, whatever, just to build up that wide receiver room and to have something going into next year. Because, like I said, aside from, Ricky P and Demarcus Robinson, it's a question mark after that. So definitely need to work on the wide receiver room.
Yeah.
So, Maddie, before you came on, we were talking about the Niners season. We've had 2 weeks to digest. What are your thoughts on the season?
More like indigest, right? Like, honestly.
That's what
I
Dina
really
said.
felt like it was, it was really set up this year. You know what I mean? And it just, they fought to get to where they were. And, it's like watching a horse that you bet on, like, run out of gas at the last furlong, right? Like, that's really what happened in this case. Like, it just ran out of gas at the last furlong. And everybody else was just, kind of busting behind it a little bit, man, but finishing, 6th or 7th, depending on how you want to go in these things. But it was kind of like what I just heard with Ty, and all I can think of is, like, what is this? What do you have to do to be like, to get the respect in the wide receiver room? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's secret passwords and codes. Like, Kyle is really almost to a detriment hard on that wide receiver room. Yes, I understand he expects a lot, but it's like, maybe the tests are a little too hard if they're not getting on the field on time. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you got to change this up a little bit. Like, I don't know. Like, it just seems like a lot of receivers are going undeveloped. You know what I mean? Like, this, and I'm really hoping that's just, they're going to find somebody. And this is, next year we're going to be like, well, Ricky Pearsall really found himself this year for whatever reason. You know what I mean? Like, I'm hoping that's what we see for next year. You know what I mean? Because he definitely has the talent. So you want to see him out there. I don't expect Juwan Jennings back.
No?
With the rest of the team, with everything else, like, it seemed like special teams was on the upswing, but then at the end of the season, kind of swung its ugly head again, right? You know what I mean? At the worst possible time. The Rams could also chime in on that as well, because that also ruined their season. You know what I mean? That was the difference in the NFC West this year, was the special teams, really, when you look at it, like, straight up. Like, at the perfect time, Seattle whipped out the good special teams plays, and the 49ers and the Rams whipped out the negative special teams plays, and that was really it. I'm really hoping this Jim Schwartz thing is real. I think that would really help invigorate some stuff, especially in that secondary. I know a lot of the things Ty talks about in that secondary, I think, would be remedied pretty quickly by Mr. Schwartz. So, yeah, I've had a lot of time to digest. But my biggest thing is, like, did you hear Eddie D the other night? Did you hear the question? What would you have done, 31 years without a championship? And he just said, I wouldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't imagine that's not something that didn't get talked about at some point or mentioned. Like, there's some steps that have to be taken this year to take that next leap. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're aware of it, but it's pretty
his
easy
nephew.
when the measuring stick is right in your division at this point.
Maddie, did you watch the games?
I did, of course. Yeah, I mean, I'm addicted at this point to this sport for whatever reason, and have been since I was 8 years old. So what the hell else am I going to do? And then this weekend, I'm just going to be sad that next weekend is the last weekend, and then we have to go through this whole thing again until September, right? And then I got to fake psych myself out for preseason football coming up in August just to keep myself afloat during that time frame, so that I can gaslight myself into saying that the season starts really in July, when in reality it really doesn't start until September. It's very exciting stuff. Yes.
So what did you think of the games?
It's really funny how the Rams were actually on track to do okay in that game until two things happened. One, the special teams play with Xavier Smith, but also they didn't kick the field goal. And people will be like, oh, well, you kick it to Rashid and this and that, blah, 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 blah. All you got to do is get it to within 3 points. Everybody's kicking 55, 60-yard field goals this year like it's, like they're all, rock stars. Get it within a point. Take the point. Take the point. Take the point.
The point.
I don't understand this whole, we got to go for it. It cost the Broncos and it cost the Rams in both scenarios. They didn't panic. They didn't give up on the run game when they got behind in Seattle, right? Like, they were still running the ball. Even with everything happening with Xavier Smith and everything like that, they were still running the ball. They were still able to throw it confidently. They were still going up and down the field. This vaunted Seattle defense was once again carved up by the Rams. So, I'm just like, okay, just take the field goal here. And then sure enough, here comes the play. And I'm like, what? Why? Why is it? Why? And then sure enough, they don't get it. And that's it. I'm like, oh, game over. I was convinced up until that point the Rams would win. Like, I assumed it was going to be a Denver-LA Super Bowl just based on the way things were shaping up that week. New England was yapping. My God, New England hasn't yapped like that in years.
I know, really.
Just pregame yapping all the time. And then apparently Denver can't hire good weather analysts because, take the points. You've got a backup quarterback. You're at home. You have a vaunted defense. 10-0. You've got a rookie quarterback on the road who's probably going to try to force something, right? And if he tries to force something, well, the previous week he's fumbled, 6 times? It's a very good possibility he could fumble again. And that's the type of team that can just pick it up, scoop, and score. I don't know. And then once again, the officials get in the way of everything.
Mm-hmm.
New England should have had a touchdown, but they blow a whistle because they have to blow a whistle for some reason. I don't know why. Every other play I've seen this year has been let go the whole time. But this playoff game, we're going to blow that whistle. We're going to blow it dead, too. They ended up getting a touchdown on that play. That was it. And then just snow, right? It was just snow the rest of the way. It was absolutely insane. Snow.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it. And it boggles my mind that the Patriots have completed one of the quickest rebuilds in history.
Yeah.
Retooled on the fly.
Yeah.
And done it now in a completely different way. Now everything's going to be built around the quarterback from the beginning. It's not a rookie quarterback coming into a loaded team. This is a team that's all built around him.
Right.
It's very interesting. And meanwhile, on the other side, you've got the dichotomy of, Sam Darnold being rehabbed through 4 different franchises. Seems to have found a home. We'll see.
Yeah, I was before we came on, I was telling Ty, there's some people who don't want the Patriots to get their seventh ring, which I don't particularly care about that. And then there's people who want Sam Darnold to win because of his story.
I don't know why we all became Sam Darnold fans all of a sudden.
Not me.
Like,
I'm
I
not.
don't want to. I do not want to. Yeah, I do not want.
I
in
see what
any
you're
way-
saying. It's out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I think that's wonderful. I think those are the sort of people that watch the Olympics too, right? Like they really like that tremendous curler from
Don't be busting on a
Victoria,
curling.
British Columbia. You know what I mean? Like oh wow, they have rescue dogs, or whatever the hook is. You know what I mean? So no, I
George
can't.
Kittle's a huge fan of curling.
Really?
He is.
As he should be. He's a man of varying background, well-rounded.
Yes. Okay. So we all mentioned Ricky Pearsall in the wide receiver room. Demarcus Robinson will be back. I think we could all agree that Juwan Jennings will most likely not be back.
No.
I don't think that they are going to pay him what he wants, and he seemed pretty somber, at the exit pressers, as if his time in San Francisco was done. It sucks because I like JJ.
So do I.
I thought he meshed really well with what Kyle and John have been trying to do.
Yeah.
Since they got here. And but besides Pearsall and Robinson, I mean, you have Jacob Cowing, didn't play. Jordan Watkins, active but didn't play. Maybe played like a handful of series, not even. What would you do going forward, Dina, with the wide receiver room?
Oh, hell, I'd give a paycheck to keep JJ in. What do you want? A Cadillac? What? Shit, I'll give it to him. Other than that, wide receivers, I think we're okay. If everybody can just get their opportunity to be out on the field so we can see who they are and what they are, get some fresh legs out there. We got the fresh legs. How about we use them? Especially in that position. I mean, yeah, Demarcus Robinson, come on, let's go. Dude, please. I want somebody to bust a groove up the line. But we need to use what we have. We got some fresh legs there. And I think people overlook that. I'm looking forward to see what they do in the draft with that situation. But I think we have a pretty good set if we use what we have. Like I said, I think they might do some movement in that position during the draft. Get some fresh legs in there.
I'm actually intrigued by free agency. There's been a few names that have been thrown out there as far as the receivers go. Alec Pierce from the Colts, Wan'Dale Robinson from the Giants, Jordan Addison from the Vikings, Romeo Dobbs. Ty, what are your thoughts?
I like the wide receiver room. I like the talent that we have. It's just a matter of them staying healthy and getting on the field. Juwan Jennings won't be resigned. The writing was on the wall 2 years ago. Kyle has already put the plan in place of what he wants to with the receiver room. He wants good route runners with speed, good hands. You saw that with the drafting of Ricky Pearsall, Jacob Cowing, and then last year with Jordan Watkins. They all got the same MO. Good route running, speed, hands. You see, that's the direction he wants the receiving core to be in. He already put it in place. It's just a matter of health to get him out there. And he, of course, needs to get out of his own way and get the young guys on the field too. Because he, at the end of the season here, he could have had Jordan Watkins out on the field, but instead he decided, let's bring in Malik Turner and let's get this guy out there. Once again, defaulting to his bad habit of, I need a veteran guy instead of putting the youth out on there. They're only going to get better by playing.
Right.
That's the only way they're going to improve. So get him out there. We saw what it meant for the defensive side of the ball, how those young guys got out there. Got to do the same on the offense. So he's got to get those receivers out there. Of course, they need to stay healthy too, God, get out there. But I like that direction. I think they can continue to do that with the draft, bring in some more young talent, fresh legs, as Dina says, and get them out there, get a receiver. One of them has got to be a guy with some size. Like, give me a 6'2", 6'3", 6'4" guy that can replace a Juwan Jennings, but he needs some speed. He's got to take the top off, right? Juwan Jennings is great route running, good hands. He just doesn't have the speed. So we need that element. I think we need that big presence. George Kittle can't be the only big presence out there.
Right.
I love a good big receiver. So let's do that. Free agency, if we bring someone in, I don't think it'd be a big splash. I think it'd be a guy that we didn't see coming, like Demarcus Robinson when they traded for him, like brought him in. It'd be the same type of deal. Like, out of everybody, we got him, but it'll be somebody that probably played in the Shanahan McVay system before, that is familiar with it, that Kyle could bring in and not stress over that person a little bit. But, for my druthers, I would like to see them just do it in a draft, bring in some more young guys and, let them rock.
Maddie?
Give me Alec Pierce or give me Deft. Okay. 6'3", 211 pounds. Was at the center of a lot of big plays for an Indianapolis offense the last few years that has had a rotating door at quarterback. And every single quarterback managed to find Alec Pierce. And Alec Pierce was definitely not the guy they thought was going to be the guy on their depth chart, but he was probably more consistent than Michael Pittman over the last couple of years. He definitely, Adonai Mitchell got shipped out of town. I promise you that was not the original plan there. The original plan was Adonai Mitchell was going to ship Alec Pierce out of town. That didn't happen. Dude's good. He's a baller. I think he'd fit perfectly on this team. I think Kyle would love him. I think he could pass all the Hunger Game drills that Kyle makes these wide receivers do and get ready for things. I would love to see him. I think that would help a lot. I think it would help Ricky Pearsall a lot. 100%. I would love to see Alec Pierce on this team. Jordan Addison, to me, I don't know what the hell that guy's deal is, but he is constantly involved in some sort of ridiculous off-field battle. I'm all set. I don't need any more Tokyo drifts going on around here.
Oop,
I don't.
pass.
We don't need any. Nope. We're good. No, thank you. Miss me with that. Thanks. I don't need it. Wan'Dale Robinson's pretty good one, but I really like Alec Pierce. And Alec Pierce can take the top off the defense. He can go deep too. Like he's not just a
he's got speed
guy. He can run. He's he'd do some things.
I think the one thing that we lacked this year was speed.
Speed guys got injured.
Yeah, I mean, most of the speed guys got injured or they didn't make it onto the field, or the statistics bore that out. This was one of the slowest 49er teams of all time. It was really like, if you just ran this juxtaposition against the 86 season, it's really bizarre. It's like the same thing.
What up,
Like
TD?
the 86 season was that transition from like the 84 team into the 88 team. Like that was kind of the year that they started, moving people over. And this was kind of that same year. Like the people that were coming from, the 2023, Super Bowl team were starting to go out, and now they're bringing everybody back in. It's right around the same time frame. You had a starting quarterback that was missing for a good chunk of the year. A whole bunch of other people that got injured during the year. Like it was really bizarre. And they got beaten by teams with speed and more depth and toughness, really.
I actually had that written down, Terradome. I feel the need for speed. All right, moving on. Let's stay with the offense. The O-line. Spencer Burford is a free agent. I think he did well. I think he's going to get paid, just like Aaron Banks and Jalen Moore. So left guard is going to be a position that we'll need to fill. The other one for me, I think, is center.
It's for everybody, Chess, but is it for Kyle?
I know,
That's the
yeah,
real
of course.
question.
Right.
That's been for years now.
Honestly, ever since Alex Mack left.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts, Maddie?
I saw a thing. What is it? The center from the Ravens. I saw him as a potential free agent target. Now, is that real? I don't know. Every year we seem to, all last year, Chris Dahlman was supposed to take over last year at center. Remember that? That really worked out well.
Yeah.
The Bears, and we saw how that went. But
wasn't even that.
we know what we have on that line, and we know that in every big game recently, that line has not done what we need it to do to match what they want the identity of this team to be, which is run first. So either they're not trusting the run first, or they can't run first. It's one or the other. And based on some of the things we've seen, I think they don't have that ability, or they haven't had that ability. So it's time to fix these trenches. That's where most of the games were lost this year.
Don't even ask me about Brendel. Gots to go. Man, works my nerves.
Also, you can't expect Trent Williams to anchor this line anymore.
No.
Right? Like,
he's going to be absolutely 38 years old.
Insane. Like, come on. Like, he needs some help too. And there's plenty of guys, like there's plenty of offensive linemen out here. And every year I see a lot of the people that we have on here, whether it's John Bogle or Steph Sanchez, or we have a lot of the good draft people on, right? And I swear to God, every year they mention 5 to 10 guys that the 49ers could take at any point in time, and they don't take them. And they go on to Tampa, or they go on to Seattle. Like, I think of like a Gray Zabel or Tristan Wirfs, or like all these guys that we easily could have taken at any point in time during the draft. It's like, like the online draft people shouldn't be drafting better than our team. And sometimes that just seems to be what happens. Like, it blows my mind. It's stunning. This year kind of turned it around a little bit, but the reason a lot of these guys had to play this year is because there were so many damn injuries. The rest of the time, they've got to go. Again, they've got to go complete some side quests before they can get on the field.
Yeah.
Right? So we'll see. Feet to the fire, I guess. Let's go.
So, Dina, I know you're Jake Brendel's number one fan.
You know what? Let me tell you something. I ordered 2 jerseys, right? And I figured, okay, I'm getting old, so I'm going to put the year of my birth on a jersey. Little did I know it'd be his damn number.
No.
Because I figure if I'm walking around a little goofy outside, somebody be like, who are you? I'm like, I'm 1964. Little did I know he would pick that number, okay? So he just ruined that for me. But he's like on a 5-second delay with stuff. I don't know. Sometimes he moves, and then sometimes he's just like, oh, I should be over there. No, too late. Or he just stands there and it's like, dude, seriously? But no, it was funny because like I was having a discussion with one of my other 49er club members, and it was like, how is it that one year we're concerned about the blankness on the left side, everybody attacking us from the left, and we try to take care of that situation. Then the next season, oh, everybody's attacking us from the right. So we try to take care of that situation. And it didn't work. It didn't work. Now with Bosa out, it really didn't work. So now they're coming at us from both directions. And what's going on? The line just collapses. I mean, there are some times where gave Brock a lot of time and a lot of ways to maneuver and find somebody. I was like, yay. Where was Brock? I'm like, dude, please. That has to be, again, we need some fresh legs in the O-line. We need some fresh legs in that O-line. I can't stand it. You know, and if you're going to do it, do it. Block. Don't stand there and watch them. Block. And I saw virtually a lot of non-blocking going on. But with you put in the guys that are on the bench, that we have on the bench for the O-line, give them some reps. Some of those big corn-eating, okra-eating boys, yeah, put them in. We need to give them a chance. Get them off the bench and get them out there. How are we going to know what we have and what they can do if you keep sitting them on the bench? I mean, these are big guys. You know, make me look really small. So let's use what we have. We need some fresh, again, we need some fresh legs out there and use what we have. Because, you know, I'm getting too old to be walking around going,
Ty?
Yeah, the O-line, like you all mentioned, left guard needs to be addressed. I think right now the only like guard we have out there is Connor Colby on the contract for next season. So definitely got to bring in somebody for that, just some competition, something. And we've said this, I think, for this the third year running, that we need an upgrade at center. You know, Jake Brendel, you want to like the guy, but his play is too inconsistent. Like one moment he's well, and the next three he's not well. Right? It's one game he's well, and the next three he's not well. It's too inconsistent. And with our like shift to running inside zone runs, right? We're running in between the tackles now. We're not so much hitting the outside. We need to be stout up the middle. So left guard, center, right guard is very important. And we saw earlier in the year when those guys were injured, how it really hurt us. So Pooney, I'm not worried about, and I think they're not worried about him either. He's a stalwart. He might be the guard we see get paid down the line. Mm-hmm. But right now he's still under a rookie contract, so we ain't got to worry about that. So I think left guard and center need to be addressed if possible, right? I know everybody says go get a guy, but it's not as easy as going to get a guy.
Yeah.
Like Drew Dahlman, everybody was creaming over him last year. And he said after he signed with the Bears, hey, I got offers from other teams that were offering me more money, but I chose the Bears. And that's free agency. They're free. They can choose what they want.
Right.
So you just got to play the game and hope we can bring someone in. Hope the draft falls in a way where the offensive lineman that we are targeting is there. So you just got to wait and see. No matter what happens, though, no one will be happy because it's the 49ers, and 49er fans are never happy.
That's very true. And you know what? You just can't replace a center because the center is the main guy on the offensive line.
Yeah.
But we'll see what they do. I think this has to be a huge offseason for the Niners as far as free agency and the draft go. Sticking with the offense before we move to the defense, tight ends. We all know what happened to George Kittle. Some people think that he will not be back next season at all. What are your thoughts, Maddie?
Who was thinking that?
Oh, it's one of those turns that I took on YouTube again.
I'm sorry.
Ugly turn.
Took that wrong turn.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just talking last year about how they set this thing up so that George could finish his career as a 49er. And I'm pretty sure he said the same thing, that he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way.
He'll do that. But whether or not he sees the field next season is the conversation. And I've seen that as well.
I think he sees the field next season. Basically, the way they talked about it in the press conference was this is the best case scenario. And if you looked at some recent Achilles injuries, some guys have come back pretty quickly. It is very realistic he could be back by opening day next year. Also, dude takes care of himself a lot, right? Like more so than others.
He's big on recovery. Yeah.
There's a reason for that. It's for specific reasons like this. I mean, look at Fred Warner. Fred Warner was one game away from coming back last year. After what happened to him?
Yeah.
Come on, right? Like, there's something to be said for what these guys do to take care of themselves and to be able to bounce back for that.
And George Kittle's tear was high.
Yeah.
Which is the best case scenario.
There was multiple best case scenarios on it, and it's not normally the case. Maybe that's just one of those deals. You know what I mean? Like, those things happen. I think if anybody's going to bounce back from it and still get back to the level that he was at, it would be George Kittle, right? But still, at the end of the day, it still reminds you that him and Jake Tongas can be on the field at the same time. They can do that. It can happen. And good things can come of it. As long as no one is throwing the ball to Luke Farrell, I don't care. Because if you throw it to Luke Farrell, he's going to fumble or there's going to be an interception. It's one or it's the other. That's it.
Good things do not happen when
No.
the ball's in Luke Farrell's hands.
The opposite happens.
Tell us how you really feel.
Terrible to Farrell, right?
Oh,
that's
man.
how it goes.
Yeah.
Ty, your thoughts?
Yeah, tight end room right now. George Kittle, Jake Tongas. I think that's a good 1-2 punch. I was looking at Jake, over the last 2 games, and they left him out there just pass blocking one-on-one, and he was holding up, right? And it's like, whoa, that was surprising. He can pass block too. Let's get him in some run pro. Let's get him out there. If he works on his game this offseason, like I think he will, he'll be a good all-around, well-rounded tight end going into next year. And he can take the momentum of this year into next year. Him as a pass catcher, I got no problem with. He showed really good hands. So him and George, good 1-2 punch. Like Matt said, get them on the field together. Throw some defenses off. You can have that heavy run formation, play action off of it, get those guys out in a pattern. It'll be good stuff. George, it'll be 8 months when the season starts. Since his injury, I don't see why he couldn't be back for week 1, to be honest with you. I've seen guys come back quicker when they've had a clean tear. So We know he's big on recovery and doing things the right way and taking care of his body the right way. So I think it's possible. I really do. I don't think we won't see him until week 10. I don't think that's the case with him. That's right. 12 personnel it's actually encouraged in some groups. You know how we got ran on by all those teams this year? 12 personnel. But that's another story for another time. So the tight end room, I like those two. We need a third and a fourth, of course. Who that is or what that is, I don't know. But they got to do something there. Just provide that depth. And it's got to be quality depth, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should learn that, let's just bring in a blocking guy, right? Isn't the way to go anymore. You need a well-rounded tight end that can do things so you can keep the offense moving the way you want it to.
Yeah.
So I think we'll know what the Niners will do as far as George Kittle goes, based on what they do in free agency and the draft, of how, his time frame. Because I'm seeing a lot of things like players surfacing as far as Kyle Pitts, Njoku. Dina, your thoughts?
It's a lot of wish lists going on out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, that's the thing. It is a lot of wish list and a lot of shoulda, coulda, woulda, woulda. But yeah, I'm all for it if, like you said, if there's good conditioning and they come in with the right attitude, hey, I'm all for it. And I think Kittle will be back. If not the first week, but I say within the first 5 games. I mean, the man knows what he's doing.
Yeah. I agree with that completely. Yep.
He knows what he's doing. And like you said, with it being a high injury, tear, that's almost in his favor. But he knows what he's doing. And I think that the coaching staff knows too what he can do and what he can't do. And he's all, he's like ready. Him and Fred, they're like, when can I get out there? He will be back. Like I said, if not the first game, at least the first 5 games, one of the first 5, he'll be in there. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be a really big factor in our running game and in our receiving yards. Because look, the guy can carry, we all seen it. The guy can carry 4 or 5 people with him, 5 extra yards, and just flick them off like fleas at the end. That's what we need. And, he knows how to take care of himself to do that. So I'm not worried. I think if we build up, let's say, like Ty said, another 2 or 3 more just on the onset, just to have them there, that would be to our advantage because we don't want to overrun and overwork our guys. But if we can get someone who 2 or 3 more people who have that speed and have that toughness, that would be awesome. And I'm going to do one of Maddie's numbers. Instead of saying have 2 out there, put 3. Put 3 out there. Confuse the hell out of everybody,
Put everybody
put 3
out there.
Yeah, put 3 out there, and just confuse everybody and then we can do what we like to do, what we should be doing a lot of is getting past the 20-yard line. How about that? We'll have that momentum to get past the 20-yard line and break that barrier into the end zone. That's what I'm looking for. So yeah, I think it can work. And if we, like Ty said, if we get more, 2 or 3 more to add to it, please. That'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. Be like team.
Oh, you back?
Who? Me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
Oh,
lost
hell,
you.
I didn't know it disappeared.
Yeah.
You cut out for a
Um,
second. Okay.
All right. So
We had
defense.
all that. Yeah.
Maddie, what do we need on defense?
Miles Garrett or Max Crosby? Next question. Like, I mean, honestly, like, and that's not to be snarky. Like, those guys, Garrett probably won't be available because of the cap hit, but if they can get Max Crosby, like, this team needs another impact defensive player, period. Like, it can't all be on Nick Bosa. It can't be on Michael Williams to come back off of his ACL tear and expect to do whatever. Dude had, I think a career high of 5 sacks one season in his career. Can he have more? Sure. Do I expect it? No. He's more of a set the edge guy. And, like, I don't. He's going to be part of the rotation, right? He's going to be a big part of that rotation, but he's going to be part of the rotation. There's always a rotation on these lines. But what I would like to see is somebody legitimately impactful. Like what D Ford was supposed to be and was before he got hurt is just someone who can help out on the other line. So if it's not him, it's Bosa. If it's not Bosa, it's him, right? But to me, Max Crosby would be perfect for that. And, allegedly he's available and on the market because the Raiders are going to go full rebuild, right? Let's see, right? That'd be a 1994-ish Eddie D type of move. You know what I mean? Like a guy like that.
Ty?
I think just depth. You just need depth. I like what we've built on the front line and the front 7. Oh, we need a third linebacker because not Luke Farrell. What's the other dude's name?
Gifford.
Luke Gifford. Sorry, more special teams player, not really a third linebacker. We need a third linebacker. I like Fred and D Winters together. That's a good pairing. I got no problems there. I just need that third linebacker. We got to identify that guy. And
Saying
like,
it's not Nick Martin.
To me, it's Nick Martin, but to them, apparently, he's not a stack linebacker, even though Dre Greenlaw was a stack linebacker who moved to, it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
And they're the
It's
ones
so
who
dumb.
pick these guys, Ty.
But
That's
anyway.
the thing, right?
I'm
Right?
kind of curious to see what they do with Nick Martin.
I said before, I think that was just roster hijinks that they were pulling there, so they wouldn't have to cut him or put him to the practice squad, and then he gets claimed by someone else because we know he would get picked up by somebody else quickly.
True.
So that was the way to keep him on the roster without losing him. But I just see what the next DC comes in is going to be. Are they going to have that stupid mindset or be like, no, this dude runs and hits. I'm gonna get him on the field. Like, see ball, go get ball. See man, go hit man. Like, it ain't hard. It ain't hard.
Run, Spot,
Remember,
run.
Patrick Willis used to be that run and go hit somebody guy, and then he transitioned into I'm going to take on this lineman. I'm going to take on this tight end. So Navarro Bowman could go run and hit people. It happens. It can be done. A linebacker is a linebacker. Like, they can play multiple roles in the defense. But anyway, back to the subject at hand. Get to that guy at third linebacker. Get depth in the linebacker core, depth on the D line. We always need depth there. And then we got to address who's going to be like the second safety. Malcolm Mustafa is most certainly there, but who's going to be the second guy? Is it Marquise Siegel? Is it someone else? And the new DC may want to change things up. He might not want to do that whole the safeties are interchangeable thing. He might want to have a traditional safety set. So that may change some things. So we just have to see. But I think across the board, this defense is solid. We have pieces. We have some really good young pieces that we saw take the field this year that are very good for the future. You know, CJ West, Alfred Collins. I think those two dudes in the middle could be around for a while. Just continue to build around that stuff. Build around those guys, I should say.
I think as far as the D line goes, sacks aren't everything.
That's all people focus on, though, which is unfortunate.
You know, we had 20 total sacks this season. I do feel like it is a necessity, though.
It is.
You know, I feel that getting pressure on the quarterback definitely helps out the secondary.
And it did
there
this
were
year.
a lot of times this year where the quarterbacks, I think, were a little too comfortable in the pocket. So I'd like to see them bolster the defensive line. Ty, I'm with you on getting a safety. I also think that we need another corner. Dina, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you. Need another corner, especially, you know, with the way things were going for us this year. Definitely need another corner. And, you know, I don't know. It's kind of, I'm not saying they didn't do too bad. They did really good. But we could use some extra help there.
Well, you always could.
You know,
yeah,
but I mean, yeah, but we can use some extra help there. And, you know, I really don't have anything to really complain about in that, except that we need more depth in that area. And we could use a few more people, you know, to fill in. But I really don't have anything to complain about, or I know, shocking, or to really say, because I think the corners really stepped up when they had to in a lot of goofy scenarios that came about. But other than that, guess, you know, I hate to sound like a broken record, but get a few more fresh legs in there, just in case. Make it look good.
Well, Stout's a rookie and Green is in his second year.
So but you know,
you can't get much more fresher than that.
Well, I'm not saying that they can't, but they could. You know, I mean, look, with our record, Stout, I like the guy. I love the guy. I have no complaints over him at all. But yeah, I know this shocking. I really don't have anything to say in a negative way.
And Upton Stout is actually back in the lab, which is cool to see.
There you go.
I don't know if you guys saw the video on that. All right, last topic before we get out of here. How far are we behind the Rams and the Seahawks? Maddie?
1 or 2 players, probably. If you're looking at impact players, right? If you're looking at depth, you know, if you're looking at luck, right? Are we going to be nearly as injured last year? I would certainly friggin' hope not, but, you know, you never know, right? The power of the substation knows no bounds. But to me, it's 1 or 2 impact players. This team's not far away. Like, they weren't that far away in Week 18. They were the freakiest drop in the world in that game away from it, right? So are those impact players already on this team? The impact player is going to come from somewhere else? Probably 1 or 2, man. And then the trenches have got to match. You got to match that energy. And you need more than 20 sacks and 5 interceptions.
Maddie, you mentioned the substation. Neither team is actually going to practice there for the Super Bowl.
That had already been in place beforehand. Like that was,
really?
that was part of the logistics.
Okay. Because I just saw that today.
I've done a lot of digging on that, and yes,
okay.
that was the plan beforehand, basically based on where they have to be, how they have to be there, and everything else.
Got it.
It is great that nobody's going to be using that, right? So I truly expect something to change with that, even if it's just a luck thing or a whatever. I don't know. They're going to do something with that. I think the momentum is going to be too strong on it.
Hmm.
Ty, your thoughts? Not on the substation.
Yeah, I'm believe that crap. No, we're not far. We're right there with them. We're right there. I think we're right there. Like, come on, man. All things being even, we're right there with them. Like I said earlier, a lot of people are just looking at our last game and having their typical fandom overreaction, panic, the sky is falling moment. But we're right there with them. Just look at what we've done during the year. And like I said, in week 18, there were 2 teams fighting for the number 1 seed. Like, I do believe we were one of them. So, hey, right? We made it to the divisional just like they did. We just didn't advance. Hey, it happens. We're right there. And we were right there. Not even at full strength, y'all. Did y'all know that? We weren't even at full strength. They were at full strength. We weren't. And we're right there with them. So, yeah, I like where we're sitting. And like I said, all those young guys that got to play, they're going to take that to the next year. We're going to even fresher, hungrier, better. They don't even know what's coming. That's the sad part. I feel bad for them. They don't even know what's coming. But we're right there.
Dina?
Yeah, I think we're pretty equal. Pretty equal with them. The one thing that kind of threw me for the loop was some of the speed of the Seahawks, some of their speed. But other than that,
ain't got no speed.
Other than that, yeah, they got a little bit of speed in there. But other than that, no, we're all equal. We're all equal in the same way, you know? So I'm not worried about it. I mean, look, we were all there at the same time doing the same thing. It's just that one team got ahead, one team didn't. And we were banged up. They weren't. But we still plodded along and got to the next one. I'm not worried about the Rams and the Hawks. Not at all.
All right. 2-minute warning. Maddie, go.
Seahawks are not the next great dynasty in the world. Let's just calm down, okay? They caught everybody on a pretty good year, and they stayed the healthiest. Lucky them, okay? They might even win a Super Bowl next week. I don't know. I don't even want to discuss that right now. But regardless, team isn't far away, just like Ty said. Like I said earlier, 2 impact players away. Those 2 impact players just be Nick Bosa and Fred Warner, right? Or it could be somebody in the draft next year. They're not that far away.
Clay Kubiak withdrew his name from head coaching opportunities to stay with San Francisco. So I like the continuity there. Jim Schwartz is a name to watch for the defensive coordinator, along with Raheem Morris and Gus Bradley. I like all 3 of those candidates. To quote Steve Young at the premiere of The Rise of the 49ers, he said, "To be great, you need help. If you don't have help, you can't show how great you can be."
There you go.
As always, go Niners and tie her up.
Everybody, pump your brakes this offseason. Remember, the offseason hasn't even started yet. We're still in the 2025 season. So, like, everybody wants them to sign players and do this and do that. Take a breath. We haven't even reached the offseason yet. And remember how patient they were last season and how well it paid off. They're going to take the same approach this season. So just chill and trust the process.
Dina?
Hey, I'm in it for the long haul. Do or die, I don't care. We got this. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to wear my colors loud and proud. Go Niners. Whatever happens, I'm with them. Doesn't matter to me.
All right. Same time next week, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. See you next week. Go Niners.
See ya.
And of course, for the upstart 49ers, they're 6 yards away from Pontiac. 3rd and 3.
We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly.
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone.